This is my Moleskine sketchbook 37 or something. I'm not really sure about the numbers. I get confused. Some robot characters. And this is one of those quantum computers. I have a really old computer and I sometimes think that I should buy a new one. This is my wife playing Doom. So always I start with the frame and then I'm not really sure how to fill the frame. So this is what I ended up with, a dual color approach. Agitators, why not? The theater. I used to finish these sketchbooks in about 2 months, but it takes longer and longer as I go along. This was my take on some kind of pulp comics. I don't have the energy to make the complete comics, but maybe just the covers. The new sketchbooks take more color, so it's easier to apply watercolors to them. This is one of those, I get the same questions over and over again, and I tend to do this kind of Q&A sessions in the sketchbook and not taking the questions too seriously, but now I actually did a proper Q&A on my blog. This is our living room from memory, so it's I like to do that, to have a room that actually exists and then just go for it. This was probably after I had done my first Domestica course and I was in that frame of mind being filmed. There's always some room for some pens when you don't have any ideas what to draw. I tend to draw pens. The last one I did on a train, so it's very shaky. And when you can't travel, you can travel in your sketchbook. So this is, it ended up as being called the Riviera, but it has nothing to do with it starting out. It just, I started adding a casino and some stock exchange, and it was a Riviera. Or robots. I have some problem with the ink with the new paper, so it's better with color, but it's smudged more easily. And this is some childhood memories from computers when I was young. Really fascinated by computers. And this started out, I started with this, I didn't know how far I would do with this drawing, so I started doing this and then I just kept on doing it, and the characters kept on shrinking. I'm not sure why. And then when I finished the outer rim of the table, I hesitated. I didn't know what to do, so I ended up doing the inner circle as well. So this is some Fabergé egg. I've been fascinated by Fabergé for a long time, so this is my take on them. Some more pens, and this is a monument of the least favorite Swedish king. Some self-portraits. Same here. It's kind of one of those bar scenes. I haven't done any pencil sketches in this sketchbook, so it's you never know what will happen. I think some of them are kind of inspired by the corona situation, when you can't go out to bars. Finds its way into the sketchbooks. This is a home network setup, so you can copy it and try it at home if you want to. Same thing as with I take one theme and kind of jam around it. This is hats or crowns. And I visit Göteborg. It's Sweden's second city. I used to live there, so this is my take on the view we had from our hotel. But we kind of didn't live there long enough, so I couldn't continue it. But then I made it into this kind of painting, so I didn't need to finish the piece. I'm trying out a new ink, so and it's not permanent, so I have to be careful adding wash to this. More self-portraits. It's very relaxing drawing yourself. Motors. Kind of roller coaster. This was also one of those situations I didn't really know what to do with the blank space, but I kept it in this case because it was kind of a complicated form. I might continue doing a background. I haven't really decided. And it's always, when I start doing stuff like this, it's like it's crazy. But when I started, I have to finish it. I did another piece like this in another sketchbook, but I didn't color it, so I did apply color to this one. But it's a stupid thing to draw, but it's quite meditative to do it. You just continue with that specific theme. And this was a stupid take I did on the Inktober thing. Instead of doing drawings per prompts, I did instead drawings, and then people had to decide what prompt it should be. But a lot of stuff that I do, kind of, it's a hit and miss. On occasion people don't get it, but it never mind. This is another one of those living room pieces from another angle. I just kept on adding some extra stuff, food related, probably also the situation this year, maybe. And I had to sit and wait for my mother as she was at the hospital, so I drove her, and her dog was with me. The dog does not look at all like this. I just thought it was funny. This is drawn on the airplane, so it's quite shaky. It's also around the theme. Some robots again. The more back in the sketchbook you get, the more robots, I guess. And this was a piece I did, one of the last pieces in this sketchbook, about the Zoom meeting. And yeah, it's also this year, I guess. Some added. This is the next last in this. I just want to finish this sketchbook, so I didn't. I'm not sure I will apply color to this one. Just random characters. And this is actually the last one I did this last night. 40 famous Swedish illustrators, maybe. Characters and robots. It's also with that new ink I tried out. It's really good in the pen, but as it is not permanent, it's really difficult for me to use. It's kind of vehicles, and that's the little drawing that was animated by just now. So I had forgotten that I did it, so when I saw the animation it was really surprising. This is a very simple perspective. It's called an oblique perspective, just straight lines and then straight in, no vanishing points or anything. The most simple perspective you can do. And this is also one of those kind of, had no plan. I started out doing this little drawing and then I just kept on. So the perspective is really, it's very strange. Kind of like just doing this kind of old machines and stuff. And I had a really problem with my tooth, so luckily it's over now, but it's the pain was quite severe. And I did this on while I'm doing a live feed, and I got this question about the ink constantly over and over again. So I took the ink bottle towards the paper and I hadn't screwed on the cork, so I made some spillage and did some really Swedish curse words. And kind of my studio setup, if it was more detailed, it's not this nice in reality. And this is called Volcano City. It's also started out just as a kind of a city drawing, but I got bored and just started adding those animals and monsters and volcanoes. Some chess pieces. Really enjoyable to draw. And some just line drawings. And that's it. Sketchbook number 37. Hope you liked it.